Okay, everyone. I am Sean Rucker from Sport Bike Chic. I'm the owner, and over the past few weeks, we've been doing our Get to Know series. And for this series, we've been able to get to know some of our movers and shakers in the motorcycle community. And today we have yet another one. Now, you may recall Scoota as the co-host for our virtual event for B.U.D.S back in September. So we talked to like Two Guns, we talked to a few other folks, OG Weasel, we talked to Foxy, all good information, white chocolate. And now we get to actually interview our co-host and find out a little bit more about him, his riding experiences, and what he actually brings to the table. So that will be my first question of the day, Scooter. What, pray tell, do you bring to the table? I've known you for almost 10 years, if not. So obviously I've known you longest of all the folks that we've interviewed so far. You're like one of the few people, if not the only people, that I've actually ridden on the back of a motorcycle with my motorcycle for very odd reasons. But at the same time, it's not too many people that I trust when it comes to motorcycles, when it comes to riding or anything else like that. Like I do trust you. You've earned that over the years. So with that said, that's my experience with you. But why are you so important to our motorcycle community? What do you bring?
I don't know that I would say that I'm necessarily important to the motorcycle community. I feel that I do the same thing that other people do and speak of. I am blessed that I have the opportunity to do it a little bit more often due to my situation and stuff like that. But I feel that I bring the table to knowledge, about riding, in all aspects of the culture. As far as the actual riding, safety aspect, motorcycle clubs, community service, different style bikes, different styles of riding, whether it be just leisurely riding, racing, you name it, working on bikes. It's all avenues of it. But this is my lifestyle. This is what I do. I don't play video games. I don't do other stuff. So this is what I surround my life with.
There you go. So tell us about some of your motorcycle beginnings. How long you've been doing this whole motorcycle deal?
I'll let you do the math. No, I've been doing it for 32 years. Wow. My father actually had me riding on a motorcycle before I could walk. I know a lot of people out here say they grew up around it and all this other stuff. And, I actually did. I feel like if I quit riding today, half my family would probably disown me. But it's something I definitely grew up around. Both riding, the motorcycle clubs, the maintenance, you name it. Dad drilled it into my head since day one. My mom said she knew I was going to be on a motorcycle because of what I was surrounded by. Mm-hmm. They helped raise me and stuff. I'm still blessed and enough that people can vouch for me as far as how long I've been around it and stuff like that. I've seen a lot, been through a lot, and hopefully we'll see a whole lot more and go through a lot more. Hopefully more positive.
Very true. Very true. So you mentioned about your dad and obviously growing up around motorcycles. Now, I'm imagining that he would be one of your biggest influencers. Who else out there actually influences you?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. My father, he's my role model, my idol, my father figure, my best friend. Between him and my mom, although my mom has always been a passenger on the back of a bike, watching her support my dad and giving him that lifestyle that he lived, and I watched that. I mean, I really can't say that anybody influences me more than my father. He gave me the blueprint. And as he says, he's passed the torch to me, and I'm trying to take it and run with it. Hopefully I don't stumble and fall. But there are a lot of people out there that I follow. I bounce ideas off of, whether it be, any aspect of the motorcycle world, from teaching to riding to traveling to racing to working on them. Matter of fact, that's what I'm doing right now. Is on the way back from Texas, and y'all probably know I'm Team Honda all day long, but Old Faithful Harley done broke down on us again, so we actually working on the bike. So they're probably over there looking at me wondering why I'm not over there spinning wrenches on this Harley. But anyway, my father is definitely my biggest influence. I follow a lot of other people. And I don't want to start naming some because then I'll forget somebody and then I'll have to hear it for the next 6 months why I forgot somebody. But there's a lot of people out there that I follow. There's a lot of people out there that I respect. There's a lot of people out there that I bounce ideas off of. But if I have to give it to anybody, it would definitely be my father.
Awesome. So let's kind of transition over to your MSF experience. So why is motorcycle safety so important for you? Obviously, you've been around it, but why is the safety aspect? I see all kinds of folks riding around here with different styles and everything, but what about motorcycle safety to you? Why is it so personal?
So Dad raised me as far, you're gonna hear that a lot, dad, you know, but Dad raised me, you know, to be a safe rider. And you know, riding sport bikes, you know, yeah, we used to get out there and cut up a lot. And while I was in the military, I knew motorcycle safety was there. I knew it was important. Even when we went to go cut up, race, and have a good time, we still tried to do it in a safe manner. I know that sounds crazy, but we still tried to do it in a safe manner.
Right.
I got into the safety aspect because I actually was going down the highway, riding a wheelie, and went past my base commander. And I was actually in uniform. So yeah, obviously that wasn't the smartest thing to do.
Probably not.
Long story short, they found out who I was, and they said, well, congratulations, you're going to be the new motorcycle safety rep. So I was like, okay. So I had to get spun up on all of that. And after I got done with that, I went down to another base, which was a training base. And I've always been around training. So I enjoy training. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy mentoring. And one of my supervisors down there said, you really should be an instructor. And I was like, I don't know if that's really for me. And he pretty much made me go become an instructor. And once I went through that first instructor course, I fell in love with it. Right. And, you know, it not only makes you a better rider, but you're always honing your skills. It actually makes you a better driver, but you see things different. You know, I ended up being certified as a regular instructor. Back then it was an experienced rider instructor. Now it's a BRC2 instructor. Advanced rider, sport bike rider, military sport bike rider. I'm actually to teach new people to become instructors. So it's definitely a passion of mine. The learning, the passing the knowledge on. I benefit from it a lot. Every time I teach a class, I'm honing my skills, you know, and then watching the new riders come up and get that aha moment where they finally catch it and get it and start to love it, you know, it's really great. It's really great. And I still learn a lot from the other instructors. You know, I always tell people to ride with people that's going to challenge you, you know, safely, of course, but ride with people that's going to challenge you because you're only going to get better, you know, but still don't leave those people behind. Coach them, tell them right from wrong, constructive criticism.
So when you're actually teaching these motorcycle safety classes, you mentioned that there was the basic one. I think you said there was some acronym in there, the advanced one, I'm assuming. What's the difference between those?
So we got the basic rider course, which is, you know, taking someone that's never even seen a motorcycle before and putting them on a motorcycle and teaching them how to ride. And then from there, you have your BRC2, which is pretty much the basic rider course, but you're doing it on your own motorcycle. And it really hones your skills. And then you got the advanced rider course. And there's a whole slew of courses out there that you can take. But yeah, the BRC2 is what actually replaced the experienced rider course. And it's still a very good course.
Right. So if I took my R1 out there, I mean, y'all can teach me how to ride that better then.
Oh yeah, definitely. I tell you like this, the hardest person I had to teach was my father. He told me the first time I took a BRC, because the military made me take a basic rider course or experienced rider course at the time. He said, go in there with an open mind, willing to learn something. I said, yes, sir. So I did, and I actually learned some stuff. I was like, man, I've been doing this wrong for I don't know how long. So went ahead, I became an instructor. So my father and one of my road dogs, one of my brother's godson, they came down and said, hey, let's take the BRC2 or the experienced rider course. And I had to tell my dad, I said, hey, I'm not saying I'm a better rider than you. I'm just giving you points and tips. You know, that was the most challenging student that I ever had. And I put my wife through my course, and he was more challenging than her. but breaking habits. But I actually did a video of him afterwards, and he was saying he learned so much more and did not realize he was doing stuff wrong.
Wow.
And you know, so he actually gained it, and he's been riding for over 40 years, maybe. I don't know. He might have 150 years on this belt. He ain't even that old. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
that course is definitely something that people can learn from, especially once you take it out there and apply it to the real world and everyday scenarios. You know, I get a lot of times people saying, "Hey, I want to take the course. Hey, I want to take the course," but they never do it. Now, what I do have a lot of is clubs coming to me saying, "Hey, you know, we'd like to get our club, our chapter or whatnot, to have a course with you." And I'm like, "Hey, by all means, let's make it happen." Matter of fact, your club did it several times.
Right.
You know, and I feel that they benefit from it. I hope they feel like they benefit from it. But I've had several clubs, several different chapters of other clubs, and to include my own, come and take the course and walk away from it feeling better and proud. So I enjoy doing it. They take something away from it. And truth be told, hell, take it to your insurance company. They may even give you a discount on there. The worst they can say is no.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So
Yep.
You mentioned your dad and you mentioned your wife. Do you notice any differences between like the women and the men that go through your course?
I want to tell y'all something about SV. She is real pro female. All right.
Can't help it.
Honestly, females typically are easier to teach simply because with the men, we have that pride on our shoulders. Right. We got that pride on our back. And a lot of times we have to get them to understand, hey, put your pride down to the side. I'm not saying that I'm a better man than you or I'm bigger than you or, you know, badder than you. I'm simply trying to help you hone your skills and get better.
Right.
Females typically, you know, are more open-minded, willing to take into information. Do females struggle a little bit more? Yes, they do. But a good instructor, an instructor that's passionate about it, will get them through it. But it's not about getting them through it. It's getting them through it successfully to where you can feel comfortable putting them on the road.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, I have failed, you know, some people, but they came back and later successfully completed. I had one guy actually come through the course. He took it one time, he failed it. He came back, he took it a second time, he passed it. He came back a third time, and I was like, well, you know, you passed it the first time. He said, well, I didn't feel comfortable enough getting on the road, even though I passed, so I'd rather, you know, get some more experience. And I probably tell that story to just about all my students because I take pride in that man. I mean, he took his safety seriously. And, you know, you're coming out here taking a BRC course where you're using our bikes. So, you know, they're Suzuki's, they're junk anyway. I'm just messing Suzuki. But, I'd rather you drop our bikes than drop your own bike because like your R1 is cute. So, you know, you don't want to mess that up. But yeah, the females typically are more receptive to the information.
Right. So I'm looking at your vest right now. Now I know what all this stuff means right there, but that little map you got on your vest, what is that for?
Yeah. This one is all the states and providences and stuff that I've been through. I went through all 50 states. I rode through all 50 states on a motorcycle. Flew to Hawaii, rented a motorcycle. I tried to ride across, but it just wasn't going to work. Right. All 50 states, 9 out of 10 providences of Canada. If this COVID mess wouldn't have happened, I would have got that 10th one this year, but I'm going to get it. And I rode through Mexico.
Nice. So where are you going to next? I mean, it seems like you've already hit everything. And every time I look up on Facebook, like you have nothing else to do with your time, Scoota, but you're like always on the road, always on the go. So where else could you possibly want to go to next?
There's so many roads and scenery that I haven't even touched in the States yet.
Yeah.
You know, being in the military, I was able to travel overseas. And if you're in the military and you got that opportunity, take it. If you're not in the military and you're over here in the States, I know a lot of people want to travel overseas, and I'm not telling you not to, but America has a lot to offer as far as, you know, the scenery and what we got going on. Me personally, I like getting off on secondary roads. It's more relaxing. You see more
Mm-hmm.
of the country, and it's not so much of the hustle and bustle on the interstate. You meet more of the locals. I try to stay in mom and pop hotels, eat at mom and pop restaurants, and talk to them and have a really good time. My dad had done all 48 continental states, I think 3 times before I had did it the first time with him. And we actually took a lot of secondary roads, and he said that was the best time that he ever had because before all he did was interstates.
Right.
But there's so much untouched that I haven't done here. Now, there've been talk about them building a bridge from Alaska to Russia. So now if they do that, I'll be heading on over there.
I hear you. I'm gonna leave it alone. But one thing I also know, you talk about riding all the time. You talk about the 50 states, but you also lead several like iron butts. You know, how is that? You know, what do? Do you just kind of organize the rides, or you just kind of grab some people and say, "Let's
I got
go"?
the iron butt pins on here as well. Yeah. You know, it depends on who you talk to. You know, the iron butt challenges are fun.
Yeah.
They are a you know, a notch in the belt, if you will. But I don't surround myself with them, you know, because it's not all about, you know, just laying down a lot of miles in a short amount of time. Because I still like taking everything in and enjoying the ride. Sometimes just stopping and, you know, parking somewhere and just taking it all in, clearing my mind, solving all the problems of the world. If I could just get people to listen to me. But the iron butt challenges are fun. I've done the of course I've done the saddle soar, which is 1,000 miles in 24 hours or less. I did the North Carolina 1,000 miles where I stayed within the state of North Carolina the whole time. I've done the 1,500 in 36 hours. Done that a couple times. Of course, I've done the iron butt several times. I've done the coast to coast in 50 hours or less from one coast to the other, and actually completed that in 45 hours. I did the 1,500 miles in 24 hours, and in my opinion, that was my hardest challenge. Was doing the 1,500 in 24 hours. As someone told me, one of the guys that I follow, I'm not gonna throw his name out there because you know, I didn't clear it through him first.
Okay.
He was like, it's all about timing, and we had one incident and it slowed us up and we almost missed it, but we got it done.
Yeah.
I was going to do the 48 and 10 this year, but COVID, so that's on the list for next year.
Okay. So with all these miles that you got under your belt and all this seat time you get, how in the heck is your wife not kind of like putting you out the house like any second now? Because you're like always gone. What is that?
Everybody says they got the best wife, but it all comes down to what's best for, what works for you.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I have found my soulmate. And she understands me. You know, she's been out here with me on trips and stuff and having enjoying and having a good time. But I was doing this long before I met her. You know, and one thing I told her, I was like, you know, this is who I am and stuff like this. I mean, I wasn't rude about it or anything like that. But I told her, I said, hey, talk to my mother before we get too serious. Talk to my mother to see what it's like. And if you're okay with that, then we'll press on. I don't know if she talked to her. I'm assuming she did. I hope she did. You know, it's kind of too late now, baby. But you know, the family is taken care of. They are my number one priority. If she called me right now and says she needs something, if I got to leave this motorcycle at the airport and get on a plane and fly home, I will. Everything stops for them. I've had trips planned before, and she was like, hey, I want to spend some time, and I will cancel that trip. But I'm lucky, blessed that not only her, but my kids support it as well. I think my son's ready for me to get on back to the house. He keeps texting me. But, you know, she understands, and, you know, this is my release. This is, you know, what makes me happy. So, but she's well taken care of. She gets her time too.
All right, excellent. Just making sure. We want some happy homes around here.
Yeah. And I check in. I may act all big and bad, but no, I check in. I gotta keep myself out of trouble.
All right, cool. So I see one of the other passions that you have is one of the clubs you belong to, or club you belong to.
Yeah.
So
I'm part of Nubian Cruisers United out of the Raleigh, North Carolina chapter.
Right. So, but I know that you've been in the motorcycle world for a long time, right? You've seen a lot of stuff from different levels, from president level to on down. So, with that said, how have you seen things changed over the years, from like the biker boys over to Sons of Anarchy and all these other things? What do you
So
think is a trend?
a lot of times it's a fad out
Right.
here. All right. So you know, when DMX first came out with the Rough Rider anthem, everybody wanted to be a stunt rider. You know, you ride a wheelie down the road somewhere. Oh, you a Rough Rider? And at the time, I wasn't a Rough Rider. I used to be one, but at the time, I wasn't a Rough Rider. I was like, I ain't no daggone Rough Rider. Later down the road, I ended up being one. But anyway, then Biker Boys came out,
Uh-huh.
and everybody wanted to be a racer, street racer. I got the fastest bike out here. Wanted to be part of a club, and then you start seeing a whole bunch of that going on. Then Sons of Anarchy came out, and then everybody wanted to be on a Harley and wants to be a 1%er and stuff like that, wearing a diamond. And it's a fad and it's a phase and stuff that goes through. Some people stick with it, some people don't. There's people out there that I used to cut up with, and they're still doing it. And when they call, I'll go out there and we'll go out there and have fun in a safe
Uh-huh.
manner.
That's right.
You know, it's all fun, but the thing about it, a lot of people get caught up in it too much, and they need to remember that they need to do what they enjoy doing.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people out here that's trying to go over to a cruiser or whatnot. If you're not ready for it, don't go to it. If you still want to ride a sport bike and have fun, right? I mean, you can have fun on the cruiser. Don't get me wrong, but if you want to ride the sport bike, then ride the sport bike. You know, people need to do what they want to do to enjoy life, make them happy. Because just because you own a cruiser don't make me happy.
That's true. That's true. I don't think I'll be trading Raven in anytime soon. You know, we're just gonna keep on riding.
Don't trade it. Add to.
That's right. Absolutely. I don't think anybody will take it all in miles anyway, so it's all good. So when we talk about, you just talked about the fads and the trends and everything else, where do you see it going forward? I mean, obviously you see the folks that are coming in, you see the new folks that are being trained and actually going on to the next levels. I mean, do you see a lot of folks that are younger, millennials? What do you see in terms of the next trend?
Well, at my school that I see is not that I'm not seeing that many young people coming through.
Right.
Which it is kind of disturbing for me. We do see more older people come through. It's not depressing, but it's something that I would like to see change. The people that's learning to ride motorcycles is going down. The people that's out here on motorcycles is going down. People that have midlife crisis, they didn't stop riding. Some people are aging out. Some people, unfortunately, are passing away, which the B.U.D.S Foundation does a real good job in supporting their families.
Yes.
Actually, doing a good job is an understatement. But, it's one of the things we've always been able to watch the trend by how many people come through the course. When gas prices got extremely high, we saw an influx in students coming through because people were riding motorcycles to save gas. When motorcycles were less expensive, saw an influx of people riding. Certain fads that would go through would have an influx. But right now, we're pretty low right now. And I'm not counting this year as far as COVID. I'm considering 2019 on back. It's been slowing down a lot. And I hope and pray that one day it'll pick back up. I hope that it will. It's just these companies got to figure out what's going to get their attention. I know Harley's been doing a lot of work towards it, trying to get the younger people to become more intrigued into the ride. And I know they've been hitting it real hard. A lot of people say, "Oh, Harley's going into a slump and having bad years with selling motorcycles." Well, all the manufacturers are. But when you look at Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, they even Victory and Indian, they all have side by sides, 4-wheelers, dirt bikes and stuff like that to help offset their sales. But moving a new motorcycle, even with the Fab Four, is hard. So it's not just Harley; it's across the board. Right. But hopefully we can get that squared away, and maybe some of these people will nurture their young ones to become riders. I named both my kids after motorcycle stuff. My daughter's name's Ra, and my son's name is Corbin. So Hopefully that'll jumpstart him a little bit. We'll see.
I hear you. Now, did your son want to start riding one day or no?
He did. He did want to start riding. He actually got a dirt bike at the age of 7, and he sort of went that way. I think I pushed him a little too hard, so I'm trying a different tactic with my daughter.
Right.
Every once in a while he'll mention it about getting back riding again. So I'm hoping that it happens, but if not, that's still my little man. So my daughter, even coming out the womb, a motorcycle started up, she wouldn't cry, whine, or nothing like that. She just looked and be like, okay. So I ride her around the neighborhood now, and I'm sure if I ask my son, he'll jump on there, but he's more into video games right now, so I back him up on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else do you have going on? Obviously, it's super into motorcycles. I don't think I've ever seen you show an interest in anything else. Is there anything else that you're actually really heavily into right now?
Outside of motorcycles, I mean, my family, doing stuff that they do, doing stuff around the house sometimes, as long as it's not a chore. So that's kind of a gray area. I enjoy listening to people talk about guns and stuff like that. But really motorcycles is my thing outside of family and, guns and stuff around the house. But that's pretty much what I surround myself with.
So when it comes down to community service, right? I know you've been like heavily into that, like all through your riding career, it sounds like. So how did you actually transition or partner up with B.U.D.S?
So I'm gonna correct you because at one point in time I hated doing community service.
Okay.
Don't hate me, people. I'm sorry, but I'm just being honest. I didn't care for doing community service at first. All I want to do was ride. And when I got to my second duty station, we did some community service, and I was actually able to see the result of the community service, and then that struck something on my heart and made me really want to do it. The B.U.D.S Foundation, actually, we linked up because of CycleMax, which that's right there too. But we linked up because of CycleMax, and we was doing a event. I can't remember. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it. It was either the bike lesson that we host or the toy drive. And we linked up there. Tracy and I got to talking, and from that point on, we both saw the same end goal and been chasing it ever since. We will never get to the end goal because there's always work to be done. But we got some good traction. They're doing some great things. They help me out a lot. I try to help them as much as I absolutely can, but it's always going to be something going on for us to maintain and make better.
Yeah. So I saw that little CycleMax that you just pointed to. So how is that relationship? I mean, what in the world started with that one?
I've been dealing with CycleMax since 2001. It's a family up there for me. I mean, obviously I'm pro CycleMax, but everybody should have their people that they go to that should be family to them. You got to support these local businesses because if you don't buy the parts from them, eventually you're not gonna have a dealership to buy a bike from.
That's right.
But they're a family. They wanted me to come work there, and I keep turning them down because I don't want to mess up the relationship that we have. Right now I got on one of my motorcycles, I have a 2010 Honda Goldwing. It's got 208,000 miles on it. I bought it in 2016. I had 37,000 on it. So they keep me going. I got a sport bike that has over 100,000 miles on it. The odometer stopped reading at 99,999 miles. They keep me going. So, I can appreciate that. And the more you do business with them, the more you show your face up there, the more they're going to take care of you. I bend over backwards for them. They call needing something, I'm going to stop what I'm doing to help. Unless it's a family has something that they need to fix.
That's good. I mean, it is good to have actually relationships like that, whether it's the B.U.D.S or the CycleMax ones, because you are going to need people. You are going to need people that that you trust with motorcycles, whether you trust with parts, or whether the trust going to give you the best price, or just actually be able to trust to give you the guidance that you need to either purchase or help someone else out. I know that you actually helped me sell my motorcycle, my SV650, many years ago. And all through Cycle Max. So I mean, it's
And we
good to
still
have.
call you SV.
I know it's a good name. That's all right. I can think about little things it could be instead. So it's all right. I'm gonna stick with SV, initials only, and call it a day. So what kind of legacy? We're gonna go ahead and start to wind this down a little bit. So what kind of legacy do you hope to leave? I mean, again, you've always been about motorcycling, you've always been about motorcycle safety, teaching people, mentoring people,
Right.
guiding people, leading people. What type of legacy do you personally hope to leave?
I guess the legacy that I would want to leave is, have fun with this.
Right.
If you look at my Facebook page, it's about having fun and enjoying it. There's no need to go out here and get so serious or get caught up in something and making it more of a chore or a job. This is supposed to be a release for people.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's protocols and traditions and stuff that we do need to follow, and I support that, and I follow it and do it and all that good stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we need to be enjoying this and having fun, making relationships. We have families, we have motorcycle families, and they come together to become one family. Matter of fact, today we was coming down the road and we linked up with some guys and had a good time coming down the road. Met some people at Bucky's today and just saw them over there in the parking lot. Got to talk and ended up extending our trip probably about 35 minutes.
Right.
Just talking to them in the parking lot. Pulled over today on the side of the road because I'm not gonna name the bike that was broke down because I'm currently working on its brother right now. But checked to make sure he was okay. He was okay, and we kept it moving. I've been in a situation where I needed some help, and people stopped to help me, and it's more than just a community; it's a family. And I want people to. My legacy will be to have other people understand that. One of my club brothers, he had a family member said, "I used to be scared of bikers and didn't know what to think and thought they were all bad." And we was at his 25th anniversary party, and she saw how we are and that we're people too, and have families and careers, and are good people, watch after people, probably better than most people that are not in motorcycle clubs. And it just changed her outlook on it. And it doesn't matter what kind of club, motorcycle club, riding club, motorcycle ministry, riding group. It doesn't matter what kind of you're dealing with. We're all like that.
Right. Agreed. Well, I'm glad you found your motorcycle family. I hope you actually are able to fix your situation on the side of the road.
Well, if not, y'all can come down here. I'm somewhere in Louisiana. I'll leave this thing on the side of the road, get him a plane ticket to the nearest Honda dealership, and there'll be a Harley on the side of the road. You can have it. I'll tell him to leave a title to it, and I'll meet him at the Honda dealership, and we'll keep on rolling.
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Get on with it. So again, I'm Sean.
Well, before, can I give a quick shout out?
Absolutely.
Let me give a shout out to my parents. All right. Before my parents, let me give a shout out to my queen, Nunu, Candy, my kids. And when I say parents, I do mean my in-laws too. Definitely the B.U.D.S Foundation, Cycle Max, for taking care of me. And my motorcycle club, of course, and everyone else out there. I appreciate everyone. We need to start getting ready to set up to do yours because you're next.
Okay.
Like before anybody else, we're doing yours.
All righty then. I guess I've been told. All right then. Fine.
Okay.
Right.
So
well,
hope everybody's getting some seat time and enjoying the miles. Miles equals memories.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Take care and get home safe.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, what we find out?